Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the J22 Report. I'm your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and give me a follow on Rumble or I have Substack below, so you can go down there. And just a little disclaimer, nothing should be construed as financial investment advice. These are just my thoughts and thoughts on the market. So, anyway, let's get into today's action today. We will let's see. Have my lineup all, but let's start with the economic data. Chicago Fed National Activity Index is down 3%, but it was revised up. Let's see, 0.18. It was previously 0.15, but look at the forecast. It was supposed to be up 2.21. So way below expectations. Dallas Fed Manufacturing, that was down negative 8.3. So if you look at this is very, I mean, I don't think it's too much, but, and if you actually look at let's looking at the markets today, interesting stuff. Dow Jones was only up 33, but if you actually look at the whole day, it all the way, started up, and by noon it was astronomical, and then it sold off, and you can see this down. Uh, and the S&P was down 30. So the broader market, that's now below 6,000. So where it comes back up or not, it could just be correcting a little frothy and then go back up to 6,500 to 7,000. But if you look at it, this is not looking good. The Nasdaq, that's down 237 points. The VIX is up. So that is not good. And if you look at gold, they had some weird actions today, and that was great. All metal quotes. I don't know why Kitco goes so slow, but that was up today. It's down in the after hours, but let's just go to see 1 day. You can see here's the line. Really, it was up, and then it really, let's see, 8:30 really went up, but then it sold down, came back up, and it finished sort of marginally on the day. Let's see where it finished. GLD is the only place where, see, if you it was up 0.54, it finished up on the day. And so gold, can't see, if you look at it, it just sold down, it came back up. But silver, SLV, let's see what silver was down. It was one of those weird days. I think it's some safe haven buying. But you know what my target is. Gold's going to get over 3,000. Probably have a correction. I think it will probably be up for this year and probably next, and then I think there'll be a problem. No one knows. My end cycle target is probably somewhere 3,400 to 4,000. So. And as I repeated, I think let me look at the Huey. Uh, I wish they would just Huey index. Oh, great. It's not like but this is, I think that the Huey right now is at 321. Somewhere between 500 is where I think it will top out at. So it comes up, it's cup and probably go handle and go all the way up. Uh, GDX, these are my top targets. We'll see. Doesn't mean I'm right. Remember the disclaimer, not financial advice. GDX 55, 50 to 55. But we'll see. In terms of the actual economy, let's see. Look at this. Starbucks, they announced 1,100 job cuts right here. Coffee shop. and it's eliminating open and unfilled positions. So they're not just laying off 1,100, but if they have an open position or an unfilled position, they're just not going to fill it. So the layoffs are much worse than 1,100. And these are good paying jobs. They're not like the cashier or clerking jobs either. They are good paying. And another one, Joanne Fabrics, it's going out of business. 1,900 jobs lost. People like to drink coffee and they like fabric. And this is, look at this, 800 stores. And this is why I don't buy. They blame it on the rise of online selling and everything else, but you look at it, the company's sales rose 23.5% in the 2021 fiscal year. So if you look at that, that's, the online shopping has been around since 2008, 2009. So I don't think it was that. I think the reason they didn't have customers is people were broke. They couldn't afford clothes, they couldn't do the fabrics, they had to wear clothes longer than they normally would replace them. They say, I want to buy a new shirt, but you know what? I can't afford one. I'm just gonna keep wearing this. I'm gonna keep wearing this coat I've had for a long time. It still fits. So if you actually look at it, it's completely out of business. If you do have a card, make sure to shop there before the 28th. That's when they will not be accepting returns. So if you bought something, you want to return it, but they will be accepting gift cards through Friday of February 28th. My mom used to go to that store. I remember they used to have a store near where I worked, but more showing. You see Starbucks laying people off. Joanne Fabrics is going out of business. Now, I mean, this is what happened during Trump's first term. There was supposed to be that big SoftBank announcement and all that other stuff. But they say Apple adding 20,000 US jobs, largest ever spending commitment. I don't know how many of these jobs are good paying manufacturing jobs. A lot of them could be through third party and vendoring, and honestly, color me skeptical, but I wonder how many actually, like if they're importing the labor or are they just hiring people? Um, so I doubt, I don't know, I don't know how many, and not only that, they're talking about 20,000 US jobs, but that's, PR. It could be a lot less. But in all fairness, I'll show the good news, but you can tell from Starbucks, Joanne Fabrics, the economy's doing poorly. Consumers are in help. So let's go into this, the other one. Warren Buffett, I was talking about this. 334 billion in cash. That is a record. This is his pile, 2000, and it just right he's been holding more and more cash as it's doubled over the last 12 months. Majority of it is in treasury bills. The majority. And so someone asked me on my video yesterday, cash's percentage of total assets is 29%. That is an all-time high. Even more than the previous peak of 2005, which is a couple of years before the great financial crisis. So here it is, right before the financial crisis. So Warren knows something. And look at this. It has sold more stock than it has purchased for 9 consecutive quarters. So if you look at it, And look at this. They haven't repurchased their own stock for a second straight quarter. So this is very damning. And he said he'll start repurchasing it when it's below its intrinsic value. I mean, Warren Buffett thinks his own company is overvalued. So if you look at it, Warren Buffett thinks there's a crisis coming. Let's get into gold. And this is one thing I really wanted to get into. This is from the Jerusalem Post. I think it's MSN, but yeah, see, you can see right here. Vince Lanny. So why Goldman's price is 3,100 is too low. And I don't know much about the Jerusalem Post, but this could be interesting. They say it could push gold to 3,300 by year end, which actually isn't an unreasonable target. So, uh, central bank demand, as I said, it doesn't have anything to do. There's the brown bottom. There are many cases where net sellers. Let me see if I can find this. Uh, Look at this. Canada sold almost all its gold from 65 to 2005. So here it is. Ottawa sells almost all of its gold reserves, leaving just 77 ounce. This was in 2015, 2016. And gold is in 2016, gold was around 1100. And now it's about 2,900. So any type of, I don't really buy this as really a reason to get bullish. Uh, there's many reasons that they buy. So they're just going in that saying they're going to buy more than this is the other end. China is enabling insurance companies to offer gold to its clients is doing the same thing but for gold and silver. So what happened in the 1980s was Ronald Reagan deregulated insurance companies, enabling them to buy stock-based insurance products, which basically began the bull market in stocks. So they're talking about tariffs, which tariffs are bullish for gold, which I mean, I don't. We've had tariffs for a long time in America. Up until the 70s, they started getting rid of them. So, and 70s kicked off a bull market because remember the free trade deal with China under Henry Kissinger. So I don't buy this whole tariff thing. We've had So I would say stay away from articles like these because this is not, and then look what it has. Don't mess an opportunity that, and now they're Goldco, Augusta Precious Metals, Oregon Hadford. So buyer beware of what you're reading in terms of gold, and it really is. Like I read. They are very good selling tricks, but the reason why is the U.S. economy is weakening, and the Fed's going to reverse and go to QE, which I think it will. I think it's going to go. I think they're going to do some form of, if not QE, it'll be lowering interest rates. They might not do QE unless they really have to. But anyway, that's all I have. Just remember not to be construed as financial investment advice. This is just my opinions, thoughts on the markets. We'll see you next video.